am not teaching, I am publicly learning. Good hi and welcome to Learning for Life in the UK test, part 544, while doing medial plane training. And if you participate in the medial plane training, that's the down risk. So training across the medial plane of a human body. As well the exercise. Okay, the idea is now that we are going to do one video about sport. We already did 4 or 5 different ones. But now we want to do one completely about sport. Do we really want to do it? Maybe I'm just opening the wrong page, because that did we do mostly in the video, but not that order: cricket, football, rugby, horse racing, golf, water racing, tennis, water sports, and skiing. Is it really a helpful video? We did arts and culture also not together. We did one about music, and then one about theater, one about the artists and a bit displaying of artists. And now we're going to do architecture. So one completely about sport. Does it make sense? It's not so long. Maybe I think that is the reason why we're thinking about it. The chapter about sport is not so long, so it is possible to do it in one video in 5-6 minutes. And we did quite some things not. We didn't do anything to football. Because to say there is the World Cup, the UEFA European Football Championships, the UEFA Championships Leagues, it doesn't really make sense. What would be something else? We did also not one about customs traditions in one. We did not make all this here, the UK today. We skipped here some things. We did most of it actually all. But we did not do one together, all together. The difference is that we couldn't do some things, because by football naming 2v tournaments doesn't really make sense. And also by motorsports, just to say that Damon, Lewis Hamilton and Johnson Button were British people who won the Formula 1 championships, isn't really sensible. I don't know, let's rest. I know what we're going to do. We're going to do the architectures. And why are we going to do it one through? What is written here on that page? We had something else to architecture. We had the Sir Christopher Wren, he's named here, about the burning down of London in 1666. The diary by John Pepys about the rebuilding. And that Windsor Castle and Edinburgh Castle were built and still standing. That Maiden Castle was built in the, must be still Iron Age. And also Cornwall and Carnarvon, the 2 castles built in Wales. Conway and Carnarvon. And also Vindolanda and Housestead, the forts along the Hadrian's Wall. We had a few things about architecture, but here we're having something else. There are some buildings standing from the medieval times. The cathedrals of Durham, Lincoln, Canterbury and Salisbury, for example. Of Lincoln, Canterbury, Salisbury and Durham. For Durham, Lincoln, Canterbury, Salisbury. And also the White Tower of the London of Tower is an example of Norman architecture. It was built shortly after the Norman conquest on the order of William the Conqueror, around 1066. And landowners became more richer when great land houses were built. For example, Hardwick Hall in Derbyshire. There were great land houses built, for example, Hardwick Hall in Derbyshire. I'm trying to rehearse it a bit for the video we're going to shoot it. In the 17th century, there was Inigo Jones. And then there was Inigo Jones from the 17th century, and he took inspiration from classical architecture. Inigo Jones, and he built the houses Queen's House and Greenwich. I'm always confusing with me. It is at Greenwich. Queen's House at Greenwich. Greenwich, it's an area, not a house, Greenwich. Queen's House, maybe just a phonetic. So that's Queen's House at Greenwich. And banqueting house. And that is in Whitehall. It's not the banquet hall, it's the banqueting house. And that is in Whitehall. So Queen's House, and no matter how green that is, it is Greenwich. And banqueting house, no matter how big the banquet hall is, it's in Whitehall, but it is a house. And we're having Hardwick Hall. Hardwick Hall that was built just in the country that now one named, invented by Indigo Jones in the 17th century, taking inspiration from classical architecture and building Queen's House at Greenwich and Banqueting Hall in Whitehall in London. This is Banqueting Hall, Banqueting House in Whitehall in London. And then there was Christopher Wren. So Christopher Wren, he developed a British version of the ornate style. I don't want to save the whole explanation what the ornate style is. Most people don't know what the ornate style is. I don't really know it also. I'm not really able to explain it. I'm able to recognize it, but not to explain it. And it's not written yet. So Christopher Wren, and he built, for example, St. Paul's Cathedral. When we were in the 18th century, Robert Adams, and he did not design exclusively the inside decoration, but he also built the great houses themselves. That's due to sense. He designed the inside decoration as well as the building itself in great houses such as Dumfries. So Robert Adams, Dumfries House. It's Dumfries House. Dumfries House in Scotland. And his ideas were used, for example, in Bath. And there is the Royal Crescent. And we have no idea if whether the Royal Crescent is inspired by the architectural style of Robert Adams or not. It's just there in Bath. But I think it was built in the 18th century. I think I know what a Royal Crescent is. But actually I have no idea. It's just that there is a very famous building which I could imagine that it has been named Royal Crescent. It could be anything else. And that building would have been built in the 18th century, of the architectural style, which I'm not able to describe, but recognize. Then there was the 19th century, and there was the revival of the Gothic style, and the Houses of Parliament was built, and the St. Pancras Station, also the town halls of Manchester and Sheffield. We will continue with rehearsing for our video about the architecture in the United Kingdom in the next video. Now we're going to do the media plane training. If you participate in the media plane training, that's a tip on risk. We're doing the greeting mushroom. Bring one leg up and point the foot down, and bring it up and down and down, down. And now the other leg up and point the foot down, and bring it up and down. Triangle igniter, legs are standing wide apart. We're breathing in. And out. Again in. And out. And again in. And last time in, and out, and in, breathe cross legs, and out. First exercise, bring one leg up into a right angle with a flexed foot, having even lined hips, and we tall up with back, and now press from the top against the knee. You can do it with a lot of effort, you can do it quite calmly, and if you're a little injured, then take it slowly. And the other leg up, same setup, and we press from the top. So right angle with the leg, flexed foot, even lined hips, tall up the back, press from the top against the knee, and have a little bend in the elbow. And the next exercise, one leg up, and now we're pressing from the inside. Right angle with the leg, flexed foot, even lined hips, tall up with the back, little bend in the elbow, and press on the inside. And with the other leg. Even lined hips, tall up with the back, little bend in the elbow. And the next exercise, leg up, right angle with the leg, flex foot, even the hips, tall up back, and now the knee presses up and to the side, up, to the side. Even line hips, tall up with the back, and the knee presses up and to the side, up and to the side. And with the other leg up. Right angle with the leg, flex foot, even line hips, tall up back, and knee presses up and to the side. Maybe we're gonna do just about the sports, not about the Paralympics or the not the sports person, just about what is it to the 6-7 sport types. That would make more sense. And it is the part which we haven't done in the previous videos. Last exercise, not the Damien Hirst exercise, but heavy swing to bring our leg up, letting over the leg, flex foot even and tips toward up the back, and pressing on the outside. Pressing on the outside and the opening slide. Damien Hirst, one of the people who were British who won. With Joseph Turner. Award or prize. And we're closing again slowly. We're pressing hold. Have a little bend in there. And slowly opening again. And closing. And twice another leg. And now with the other leg, and press on the outside, and the opening slide. And we're closing again slowly. And we're opening slowly. And we're closing again slowly. And leg down. And we're breathing in. Out. Again in. And out. And the last strong breathing. Out. And we're closing legs. That was a medial plane training, a short one. I thank you very much and until next time.